My name is Pamela Steele. I head a supply chain consultancy firm here in Oxford. It's focused on international development, helping our clients to strengthen supply chain capacity in developing countries. At the same time, I'm also a research student. I'm an international executive research student at Cranfield University, where I am studying public health supply chains in developing countries. I traveled the world a lot with my work with NGOs like Oxfam, with the United Nations, and whenever I would go to remote villages, I would see people struggling to get healthcare, proper healthcare, due to lack of medicine. So what I noted was that many developing countries face many challenges, complex ones, in providing essential medicines to their population. And that led me to choose to focus on that area. And then at some point I was searching the web for information, and I bumped onto a TED talk by Melinda Gates, and she was wondering why or how you can find coke in these far-flung places of developing countries, chewing gum or tobacco, when you can't find medicine, and wondered why can't governments or the NGOs that work there be able to do the same thing as Coca-Cola. So that led me to think seriously that, there's something that I could contribute to. This study ties in with the area of my work focus because I study at Cranfield and gain new insights, new information that when I go to practice, I'm able to translate that into real knowledge, really, and test it also with some of my clients, but also use it to make improvements as necessary. So you would say they're intertwined, they inform each other, so my research informs my work, but also I use my work to help me think more constructively, more innovatively into how this can affect the final solution that I come up with for my study. I think the fact that my course is somehow intertwined with my my area of focus work, I find that I'm at an advantage because ideally solutions today require evidence-based research, and in order for management to make proper decisions, they would benefit a lot from something that has been tested, that has been thoroughly researched and proven to be true. So when you're making the decisions, you make it with confidence. And that for me keeps me motivated, but also I find it very interesting. Above all, it gives me the confidence when I tell my clients that this would help you, because I know that I've researched it and sort of believe in it. My overarching aim is actually that no man, no woman, no child should die because of lack of access of healthcare. But that is the reality today in many developing countries. And so my objective is to focus on how the last mile delivery of aid in general, be it in emergencies, but mostly of essential medicines, can be improved at the lower peripheral level where patients always go to access medicine. That is key, that we achieve that. But the concern also is that while that is a reality and that there's so much money coming in, that governments struggle with a lot of internal challenges, be it poor infrastructure or lack of healthcare. And so I think if donors focused their aid in improving the health delivery, other than just investing in the product itself, that can help improve the infrastructure, help improve the overall performance of national institutions in achieving that. Looking at the video and the comparison of Coca-Cola and medicines, is interesting, but I think it's also important to be conscious that the nature of products are not the same. Coca-Cola does not require the kind of attention that medicine requires in terms of its safety, but also in terms of being able to preserve its potency using sophisticated equipment such as cold chain facilities, but also that medicine is has to be dispensed by qualified professionals. Nurses have to be there. So Coca-Cola can be distributed by anyone who is business-minded, but you don't do that easily with medicine. So it requires proper management, proper regulations, better logistics that ensures that there is no loophole where medicine finds its way into the wrong hands. It's probably a difficult question, but I would say that no one organization or no one government can do it. It requires a concerted effort of the people who are giving the money, but also the leaders who are responsible for their governments to take up some sort of holistic approach and use the strength of all the key players within the country, but also external expertise to improve last mile delivery. There are, of course, internal challenges which any outsider may not have so much control of, things like a need for proper policies, which again require strong leadership by the state governments to be able to ensure that issues that affect medicine availability are brought into the strategic thinking and planning, and so embedded in the way that they do their work. There are, of course, ethical issues that could be addressed, like corruption, to help address all these challenges. But above all, in every organization, you will find that they are run by people. And people are an organization's assets. And so you would say that the health workforce are a critical part of any health institution. So if you have the right people who are well motivated, they will strive to find solutions and work dedicatedly to try and meet the objectives. But they need support. That support would have to come from leadership. How am I going about my research? Ideally, this took so much thinking into what would be the best way to approach it. And so I thought that a three-pronged approach would be the best way forward. Of course, the overarching aim is to improve aid delivery at the last mile, of course, learning from private sector. But before you do that, you really need to understand the details of it, what is really wrong. And so for that matter, I thought that having a systematic study to find out what exists, what is known, what has been done, before just jumping into thinking that there's a problem that needs to be fixed. That I wanted my approach to be informed by realities on the ground, but also from what academics have done in terms of research, the existing research that is there. So first is the systematic literature review. Depending on the levels of the problems identified from the systematic literature review, that I would develop a theoretical framework, which I would then take out for empirical testing as project 1 and finish off with projects 3, and sort of, link them all together to come up with clear recommendations that would help organizations, but also the national governments who are the ones responsible for their population. I am now moving on to my 4th year from September, where again I hope to focus on the second project, and this will be empirical, which will lead me to travel to some of the target countries to work with them to really test some of the theoretical frameworks that I have developed. Yeah. I think I am on the right track, having finished systematic literature review, because from there I was able to understand the wider issues that are affecting medicine availability at at the service delivery point, so to speak, where patients access it. From there, I concluded that there are various factors, but supply chain is a significant one, which warrants research on its own as a way of trying to look at things more holistically. So yes, I am now confident that I can focus on supply chain, knowing that there are wider factors of which supply chain is a victim. They affect supply chain, and if we can address them, then things may improve. I don't mean to say that by solving supply chain, then you solve the problems if the other factors are not addressed. So you've got to approach it holistically. But even supply chain requires a holistic approach without breaking the elements and focusing only on one element, be it warehousing or procurement. You've got to look at it holistically, and that's probably how we'll be able to address the solution. Then when it comes to implementation, that would depend on the resources available, the capacity and capability of the target country to prioritize what they want to move forward with. I am trying to finalize my research design, working with my colleagues at Cranfield, who have been fantastic in helping me really shape my thinking into academic approach. It wasn't easy initially because I went in with more practice-based thinking and also desperate to get answers immediately. But I had to sort of settle down and realize that this is going to be a long journey. So this is project 2, and soon we'll be ready to go out. It will mean working with a few countries and get on going here. I guess a lot of it comes back to my nature, my humanitarian nature. I think if you ask me to define who I am, I would say I am first and foremost a humanitarian. And that sort of guides every step I take in the thinking, in the decision making, in my relationship with people, that I'm always looking at how I can help. And I'm fortunate because of my skills in supply chain. I have something that I can give, and what a joy to know that you can do something.